All right. So for today, we're going to cover how to create interactive web app using Solara. We are not going to cover Streamlit. You can learn by yourself. It's very much similar, but Solara is a lot more powerful. So it has so-called bi-directional communication. Streamlit doesn't have that. Streamlit only support Folium, right? You know Folium and iPyLeaflet. iPyLeaflet has bi-directional communication, so you can develop widget and then you can interact with the widget and then you can pass into a program and then you can do something. So for today, I'm going to show you how to develop Solara app and then deploy to Hugging Face. So before I get into that, I want to show you like what it looks like, what kind of things you can do. So these are on my Hugging Face. You can just Google my name and then Hugging Face. You should be able to find my homepage, or just huggingface.co and then slash GSWQS. So I'm going to show you some web app that might be useful. And this is solely based on, for example, built on top of iPyLeaflet. And so this is the interface. You have a home page. Again, this is not super fancy. It just works. It's not fantastic. It can certainly benefit from some improvement, but that's not the point. The point is that how do we build some interactive web app that has mapping applications that allow user to interact. So for example, at the top here, I have some tabs, right? I can click on any of those and you should be able to see, for example, it show up the footprint of satellite data available for this area. Maybe they try the smaller one. So for example, okay. So how about this? Okay, I have this. Did I show this before in class? Maybe. Okay, so this is, for example, Libya, right? They have the flooding 2 years ago. So MaxR is a satellite company that released some of the high-resolution satellite data for natural disasters around the globe. And so the data is very high resolution, centimeter level. And so these are some of the build, the footprint that they released. So if you see here, now take a look at this. Right, this is all built on top of leaf map, right? So do you know how to design this widget now? Right? What's this widget? Drop down. And how about this one? Date picker, right? Check boxes, check boxes, check boxes. And on the bottom here, you can also have this kind of widget, right? So this is actually super interesting. Maybe not necessarily interesting, but certainly you can use this to do all kind of applications. So for example, here, when I have on my mouse, it will pop up the information. And so this is what I'm so-called bi-directional communication, means you can interact with the user input, right? So when I have on my mouse, it's going to highlight. And when I click my mouse on the map to select this polygon, it will actually select the date, the imagery associated with this one. Okay, so now if you see, I have the imagery display based on my user click, right? So this is one imagery, and you can come here. I think this is the one before the natural disaster. So, and I have another one here. I can click here one more time. It will select another one. And hopefully, you see both of those, right? And yes. With this? Yeah, the same thing. You just need to write some codes to actually do that, but it's the same. It's all based on iPyLeaflet, so it works either way. And see this. Let me turn off the footprint so it's much more clear, right? So now I have these two imagery, one before and one after. And look at this. Oops. Oh, I turned it off. Sorry. How destructive it is. What's this widget? Slider, right? And then a button, and then the check boxes. Similar to what we did in class for some of the lab assignment, although it's a lot more complicated because you can deal with all the layer. And this is just a simple example how you develop something like this. And anyone can go to the link. You don't need to install anything. And even better, I have a split map here. I click the split map, see, and now I can do this. Isn't it cool? And you can turn the layer on and off. And so this is the one that I was talking about. You need to have the basically have the base map, like actually have another layer. So in that way, we show both of those. And nice thing about this, it doesn't have to be just one single event. It can be any event. So all the data available through MaxR, you can actually select any of those. And then, for example, Kenya flooding, automatically zoom to the area. And then, right, I can click here, select this one. Look at the date, and I can select this one. Hopefully it will load up the imagery. And if I want, I can turn base map layer off. Now you actually have two imagery here. And then so you need to turn it off, right? So I'm not sure where is the flooding, but let's try it out. And these are all basically so-called cloud native GeoTIFF. So actually loading directly from the cloud. Anyone know where is the flooding actually happening? I'm not quite sure. Must be somewhere. And some are loaded, you can even see the cloud. Anyway, this is just a simple comparison between two imageries. And based on the user input, I can also switch to the split map. Okay, right now it's not working very well. I think there's some bugs over there. Anyway, so this is just some applications like you can do develop using leaf map, okay? And you can do that for your package as well. And this is just the same, like different, but just different location, different events, and have all the imagery. So welcome to try it out. Some of the data available. If I click, you will select this one. I click another one, you will select another one, and then you can just compare, see the changes. And this is based on leaf map. I have some other packages. For example, I can show you maybe Gmap. Okay, it's all based on iPy leaflet, so it's all interactive. So for Gmap, it's more powerful because you can have low Google Engine data layers. It can do larger scale computing. So for example, these are some of the Google Engine data layers. Take a look. Right, it's all interactive, and I can also click my mouse on the map. It should be to show you all the properties. Exactly just like what you see in the Jupyter notebook or VS Code that we have been doing. And you can also do plugin. You can also create time lapse, for example, just like what we did last time. And maybe somewhere here about this. I'm pretty sure this is going to be very dynamic. Okay, click here, do this one, and maybe also extract the water. I saw this in the Google Gmap lecture, right? And you can see here, right? It's all using my account, and then anyone can go to the website. You will be able to generate the animation. And behind the scenes, you using Google Engine Cloud Computing. But instead of running it locally, now you can deploy that one to the web. And of course, this one involved a lot of data, so you need to wait. But in general, most of the applications should be just a couple seconds. You can get the result. Yes? No, it's using my account. So it's authenticates through my Google Engine account. Yeah, just set the token. If you want, there's instruction on the homepage showing you how to do that. So you just need to generate Earth Engine token on your computer and then just paste that one to the cloud, set it as a secret. Just like with our PyPI token, if you remember, on GitHub or other locations, and it will be authenticated, so any user can do that. Yes? What do you mean confidential data? Can be shared, then you don't put in here. User, anyone, anything that you can access to Google Engine is going to be public. Or you need to develop some app using JavaScript, then you need to basically set the what's that called? Set the permission to a certain user. If they log into the account, they can see that. For other people, you cannot. So basically, Google Engine, if you upload data to your Google Engine account, it's kind of like Google Drive. So you can specify who you want to share with. And for people that don't have access, they won't be able to use the data set. But if you make it as a public web app, anyone will be able to use it to see that. Looks like this one is not just taking a long time, so it's not a good time for live demo. It's always something going to break, but you get the idea. You can try it out later. I'm just showing you. It's pretty powerful. You can do a lot of things using this kind of developed application that allow users to interact. Okay, so for the next half an hour, I'm going to give you a quick start guide how to use Solara. Okay, so if you go to the website, Solara.dev. Okay, we go to the website, you may see here, and so this is actually what they have built. Interestingly, this website is actually deployed using Solara, so it's actually on web app. Actually, it looks like website, but it's just like the same as what I'm doing here, but it's more like looks like a company. But everything is basically interactive. You can actually try it out later. Oops. So you can go to the documentation. You see everything is like here. Example, I can get started. You can install it. So first, let's just install the package if you have not done so. The installation, and then come to installation. But pretty much everything is just you can using pip install, or you can use conda. So I mean the easiest way would be just use pip install. So let me show you here. I'm going to open my package just to show you. You open your basically your Python package that you develop. So, and then I'm activate my environment, conda activate. And then just pip install Solara. Simple. And let me see if this one is working now. It's not working. Anyway, I'm gonna close this one for now. Once it's installed, then we can test it. Okay, it's all done. Then I'm gonna just create a simple notebook somewhere here under the examples, and I'm gonna say Solara, so IPYNB. Okay, and then from here you can just create a new code block. I'm going to select Python, and then import Solara. This Python environment, Geo. No errors, then we can try some of the things out. Okay, everything works fine. And now I'm going to go to some of the examples. Examples, and then I believe this library, IPyLeaflet. The easiest way is just to copy the example what they have. And so take a look at this. You see, this is a website. It's actually a web app. You see, everything is interactive. I can also zoom in. You see that? There are two ways. So you can control, basically, think about here. You can control things outside the map, or you can have information from there and then to update things outside. So if you look at this one, like in IPy widget, what's this one? Slider, right? And you also have something here. These are all the label text widget. And this is the map. So if I control the zoom level, the map zoom level will change. But also I can zoom in and zoom out the map here. You will see these are all being updated. So basically it's bi-directional. I can control this. You can also pass information outside. So how are you going to do that? Just look at the source code, and it's going to take you to the website like this. And so pretty easy. Just simply Control C, and then come back to here, paste it, and run it, see if it works. Oh, you need to actually, because it's a function, so you need to actually to print it out. So you go paste. This is actually a Solara component, so it's basically designing a page. And in order to render it, you need to, in a Jupyter notebook, you need to basically show this page. And see, now we have this web app. Actually, it's the same thing, just like what you were seeing from here, except we're looking at the source code. So later we can deploy this one to the cloud, and then user will be able to interact. So now look at this. See? Isn't it nice? And this is similar to what we did for our package, except that now you need to basically follow instruction. You need to do something like this. And it's using IPyLeaflet. But let me show you how I can use it my own package. So I'm going to have GeoDV, right? So this is my own package. Okay, m equal to geodv dot map and m, run it. Let's see. And I would like to actually use Solara to use my package rather than using others. I can also do this. Okay, m dot add, for example, base map GUI, right? Last time I designed this one. So and I can change the base map like this. So we can use Solara to do the same thing. So let's see how do we integrate this one into Solara. So look at all the stuff here, import IPyLib, and the only thing is like this. Look at this, map and then elements, pretty much that's it. So all you need to do is actually very simple. Just change the example to your package because we all build on top of IPyLib, and IPyLib is actually IPyWidget. So instead of using IPyLib, we can just change it to geodv, just like our package, and only thing is just like this, geodv. And that's it. So now run this one, see if it works. Is it this one? Maybe restart the kernel so that we are very clear. We're not using IPyLib. We're using geodv, Solara, blah blah, something like this. Run it. And zoom in, zoom out. You see? Isn't it nice? Yes. Source code. So if you go to the Solara website here, documentation, examples, and libraries, and then IPyLib. Here, if you click this one, view source code on GitHub, then you will take you to the GitHub page. We'll be able to copy the example from there. Yes. You mean here? Good question. Actually, it's better to, let me show you. So if you want to customize something, you actually need a little bit more work. You can define another custom map class, and then you can add stuff. So what I'm going to show you here is if you go to my Solara web app here, I can show how I actually did it. So if you want to actually add some customized data, or you want to do something else, it's better to define. Let's see here, get data. It's better to define another map class, build on top of map class. So inside there, then you can add some custom stuff. So I'm going to show you how to do that. It's actually not very difficult. So for example, if you don't define a map class, it's going to use a map class directly. But the limitation is that the Solara can only accept one map object from here. And in order to like add, for example, I want to add earlier my, for example, basement GUI directly. Not really an easy way if you just using this way. So the better way we do it like this. I'll show you. It will be df class map. Not df. Sorry. Class map, and then geodv map, and then from here, df underscore init. I don't need any of this. So look at this. So what I'm doing here is going to create a map class built on top of my map class. And so once you initialize the map, I'm going to use it at the base map GUI. So essentially what we're doing is we customize our map to our liking. And then instead of using directly your package.map, now we're using the map. So now this map class is coming from here. Make sense? So right now, let's run this one, see how it works. See? Now I have my map. And it should just work just nicely. So how many lines of code that I had to change? Like from the IPyLib example. Technically, just change this one, define the map class, that's it. And from here, instead of using IPyLib.map, now you're using a custom map. So think about here. IPyLib is here. Your package is built on top of IPyLib. And you can directly use this one with your Solara if you want to. But if you want to add some custom stuff or you want to create another map class, and that map class, you can do all the things you want and then link with Solara. So this is exactly what we're doing here with this custom one. So similarly, I can change it. For example, I want to create a certain location. For example, this is maybe 40, negative 100, right? And then zoom level maybe 4. Now I'm creating something like this, and I have, you can zoom in and then I can also add some other stuff. For example, if you want a certain base map, right? I can just say save.add base map, and then I can have one called maybe what can I do? Maybe Esri. Oh, war imagery, uppercase. All right. So see this, right? So I'm gonna basically design the map to whatever you like. Once the map is done, then I can do this. So I'm gonna run this one. Okay. So now I have this base map directly, and I can change it to other map if you want to. You can click and hide, and that's it. And this is how you use Solara to create map applications. Just use the simple example, and you don't necessarily have to use oops. Where's the I'm supposed to have the yeah, the zoom label, the slider bar here. Okay, and also there's some text label some beneath it, but we don't really need to use those unless we really want to. So, and once you are done with this, the next step is how do I actually deploy this one to Hugging Face, and then so other people can utilize that. So what we're going to do here is very simple. If you don't have a Hugging Face account, please sign up one. Very easy. Just log in. You can log in into your GitHub account, and then you can do it. Hugging Face is one of the best platform out there for hosting data, creating web app, and doing AI stuff. So I'm going to go to my account. So the easy ways to get started is actually to copy the template. Just like you're creating a PyPI Python package, use my template. So actually create a template here called Solara template. If you click and then go to my homepage and then check out this Solara template. So this is the simplest one. There's not a whole lot of information, but if you look at the source code, it's very. So in order to develop the web app, deploy the web app, we need to use the Docker file. So basically use Docker to create and install all the packages. You may not understand all of these things in here. You don't have to. All you need to do is just come here, upper right corner here, and then just where's this one? Duplicate this space. I mean, maybe yeah, duplicate this space. So if you go to my template here, just duplicate space is similar to GitHub, like fork this one to your account. So if you duplicate and then just give a name, and make sure you change this one to public, because otherwise people cannot use it, cannot see your stuff. Change to public, and then just say duplicate space. You should be able to have that one up and running in a couple minutes. So can you find this one? I'm gonna show you one more time so you know. Go to my homepage, Hugging Face, my name. Just Google my name, Hugging Face. You'll be able to find it. And then expand. Go down here. Find this one, Solara template. Okay. I'm gonna show you how we're gonna do that. So I'm step by step. I'm going to go to the files, and then from here, 3 dots, duplicate this space. Okay. I'm gonna just show you how to duplicate. So in order to use the Solara template, I'm gonna say Solara GODV. Okay. So this is the name of my package, and then change it to public. Duplicate space. So you're gonna take a couple minutes to build the repo, install all the dependencies, and then you will have the website up and running. And once you have that, we can start making changes to the source code. You can do that using the web interface, or you can clone this one to your local computer. And once you have that, you'll be using your package for doing web apps rather than using leaf map or other packages. It's not that difficult. You just need to practice it. Trust me. There's not a lot of coding. You're just clicking those buttons. So you use my template, and my template has all the steps required to build the website and then deploy as a web app. So you're using the Docker file. Basically, it's kind of blueprint build the repo. And actually, after you click this, you will see here is actually building. So right now you see the logs here. It's building the website, installing all the packages. So what we want to do here, let me show you, right? This is right now the repo. So the easiest way would be to just go to the settings, and then from here, you need to add your package, okay? Because your package is already published on PyPI. So now I can actually use my package. So what I'm going to do here is going to go to edit, right? And then from here, I just want to add my package. Okay, geodev. I think this pydantic less than 2.0 is probably not necessary now, so I can just remove it. There was a bug in the past that some of the dependencies that having issue. So just add your own package into the dependency, the requirements.txt list, and then just updated it. Again, anytime when you're updating anything, you are basically, this is actually a Git repository, okay? Similar to GitHub, but it doesn't have all the functionality that GitHub has, but it's very much similar. So you can edit the file. I just edit my dependencies, and then you can wait until this one is finished building. Then we can see if the website can be executed or not. Then we can update the application to use our own what our own package. Okay. Yes. Uh, let's see if there's anything special. It should not be because this is all the public. So let me see. If you go to the settings, let me see if anything special here. Did you just sign up the account? I'm not sure if they have some restriction that allow. There's no information. Maybe we start. You see it. And let me see here, still building. Okay, wait for this one to finish, see if it works. Yeah, you're able to install all the packages. So it kind of like similar to what we do development on our local computer. We create a new virtual environment, and then we install all the dependencies, and then we run the notebooks. So online is pretty much going through the same steps. And once it's done, we should be able to see the website. Although right now it's using LeafMap as an example, but I will show you how to add our own package into that. Oops. Yeah. Oh. Converted that provide the view. You can see the log. Interesting. I'm not sure it's because the Python version is outdated or not, but it should not be. Restart the space. Oh, I think I might know the reason. So if you go to the files, there's a README file. So the README file here sometimes have some metadata. Let me see here. Oh, free. It doesn't work. Oh, so you just duplicate and then, oh, I see. Interesting. So your website, you can see it's running?
Yes.
Okay. It's weird. Used to work. I'm not sure why. Anyone else? No? This is weird. Anyway, so I will look into this one, see what's the issue. But for now, I can show you how actually you can maybe do the testing on local computer, and later we can push to Hugging Face. So what you can do is to maybe just go to the repo that you duplicate, and then go to the files here, upper right corner, click this one, clone repository. So basically this is hosted on just a repository. We can actually clone to our local computer and then we can test it. So I'm gonna clone this one. You can click the command here, copy, and then come back to my local computer. I maybe do it here and then open the terminal. Okay, just Control V, paste. Okay, so we have this one on local computer now. And then you can just right click, open this one in VS Code. And next, I'm going to show you how we can actually do the testing on local computer. So it will be the same, except the website will be running on a local computer. So open the terminal, and then from here, first activate the contact environment where you install Solara. So I'm going to contact activate Geo. Then the command that you need to, let me zoom in a little bit. Okay, so the command line that you need to use in order to test your web app is, if you want to forget that, you can go to the Docker file here to see that Solara run and then /pages. So what this is doing is, okay, I'm going to use Solara to build a web app, and all my Python script is under the pages directory. So it will be like this: Solara run / and then pages. Hit enter. And it's actually going to start a server, and it's starting, and then you're going to open that one on your computer. So this is the same thing like you're going to see on the website, but right now this is running on a local computer. So we are doing the development testing on a local computer. So if you run this one, you should be able to open the leaf map. Why it's taking so long? Sometimes it's taking too long. You want to go back to here. You can see the log, see if there's any error messages. Okay, just sometimes takes time. So we can actually, this is all solely based on leaf map. So there's using this built-in functionality. So what this one, you can look at the example how it was done. Leaf map, right? We create a map class, and then we add the GUI, right? Exactly the same, just like what we did earlier. Is it? And then you create a map class. So basically this is just a template. And the cool thing about this is like using leaf map, because leaf map have loads of functionality. I can easily, for example, take this one, and then I can search the data. For example, I want some Sentinel-2 data, maybe since April, okay, this year. I want to see some data. So all I need to do is just search the start date and then maybe the end date if you want to select that, and then just go to search. So it's going to search all the data available for the area that I'm looking at. And see, I'm going to show you all the footprints available. After that, just look at the items. So I can just select, okay, the data set that's intersecting with the region, and then just select display. Oh, too much color. What's going on with the light? Oh, this is just probably too much. I would like to have this one, maybe half of my mouse to. Right now it doesn't show you the full picture. And yeah, there's some bugs in here right now. Anyway, so you can actually visualize, basically load the data, and then don't have to download anything. These are all cloud native, so the data actually coming from the cloud. So you can search the data by year, by date, by whatever you want. You can also set some additional attributes. So from here, you can actually set some additional stuff. Anyway, that's not the focus. The focus is that now I want to build on top of my package. I want to add another, for example, my app, add another tab here. So how are we going to do that? So actually it's very easy. I'm going to go back to my repo here. So all the tabs actually is coming from the pages. So you can create a new one. For example, this is div map. I can create another one called, oops, not a folder. It'll be just right click new file and maybe 02 and then geodev.py. It can be any file name, okay? It doesn't have to be geodev. It's the name that's going to show up here. Okay, show up on the tab. So it's the name. It's going to use the file name as your tab title. And after that, then we can easily just copy the example that we did earlier from here. Okay, Control A, Control C, and then come back here, Control V. And for this one, we don't need to display the page because it's a Python script. It's going to automatically find that one and it displays for you. If you're in a Jupyter notebook, then you have to write that function. So, and this should be it. This Control S, and it's going to refresh the website. So come back to here. Or if you add a new tab, you might need to stop and restart. So in this case, let me open this one, and then the terminal. Oh no, not this one, wrong one. Okay, here. And for this one, I think I need to just Control C to stop it because I add a new page to the web app. If you just modify the content, you don't need to stop it. All right. So hopefully, you see, nice. So look at this one. See if it works. Not quite sure. Perfect. Look at this. And that's it. So now I have the web app actually running. All I need to just push this one to Hugging Face, then you can have the web app up and running. So pretty cool. See this. So in order to push to GitHub, I'm going to show you how to do that. Although it might not be earlier when we duplicate, there might be some files that are pretty old, so it might not work. But if you go to the Hugging Face homepage, log into account, and then go to Spaces. So I'm going to create a new one, new space. And then I'm going to give a new one, maybe called GeoDV. Demo. So hopefully we can finish it. And then description, I don't care. MIT license, right? So for this one, you need to select the Docker file, and then just maybe have an empty Docker file. So later we can see if it works. Okay, and then public, yes, create a new space. And that's it. So the next step is to clone the repository to our computer. So all you need to do is to go to the files, right? Right now it's kind of empty. So I can just say clone repository, okay? Copy this URL. Then come to your computer and then just clone that. Okay. So once we finish the clone, then I can just simply copy the file from my app here over. So what I need to do, maybe just simply, I would recommend just the requirements of txt, and then don't copy the README because the README has some special information there. Because this one already have the README, and then the license, and then the Docker file, and then the pages. That's it. And let me place it here. Okay, don't worry. You can always go back to watch the video. It's not a big deal. I'm just going to show you the process so that we can make this one up and running. And so the last step here, we have to make sure you add your package in the requirements of txt. Okay. So once we're done, let me just test it right now from here, see if it works. Okay, I'm going to say what conda activate geo. Okay, and then Solara run doc pages. If you can open the website. What is it? Server is starting at, or it's already in use. So I need to stop the previous one. So Control C to stop my previous one, and then let me close this one. Save. Okay, and then run again. Okay. On the page. Nice. Everything looks like it's working. So what we need to do here is just like we commit to GitHub. It's actually very simple. You just say initial commit, Control Enter. All right, and you can create a branch if you want to, but for now, because there's not much stuff in there. So different from GitHub, that it's integrated into VS Code, so I can just like it push to GitHub. But for this one, it's using Hugging Face, so you do need to enter your username and your password, not your password, your token. Okay, so this is something that you might have trouble. Okay, pay attention. So for you, once you sign up for the Hugging Face account, so I'm going to go to here, my Hugging Face. Where's Hugging Face? Here. All right. So this is your account. So you're going to see your go to settings. Okay, and then on the left side, there's access token. So this is very much similar to GitHub. that in order to authenticate, you cannot just enter your username and your password. So your username, you will be whatever your username or your email. So I'm going to enter my. Okay. Did I already commit the changes? Where is it? Oh, here. So I'm going to enter my username. And actually, it's my email actually. Okay, here enter. Okay, password. This is not your password. Okay, if you enter a password, it's not going to work. Okay, it's called the access token. So what you need to do is to come back to here, create a new access token, and then you can find control. Like I usually don't care. Just click this right button, and then just give a name. For example, maybe web app or whatever. You can just give a random name, and then create token. And this is it. So this one is basically a token that access to account. It has write permission. So only just copy this one. Don't try to steal my token, okay? I'm going to delete it later. But I'm just showing you, copy this one and then come back here. And then Control V, hit enter. Hopefully it works. Okay, you see, it's done. So it has been pushed to Hugging Face. Now I can come back to here. Look at this one, refresh. See, I have all the files. Now it's building. So this is a brand new one. I hope it works. If it doesn't, then I need to look into that. Earlier, we're using a duplicate space. But this is it. This is the whole process. You create a new empty repo using Docker on Hugging Face. And then you can pull this one to a local computer. You can copy some of the file from my template repo and then just add your package into the requirements.txt so that you can utilize that. And after it was pages, so you can add as many pages as you want into here, and just follow the template like this. If you want to customize it, you create a new map class, and you can add a lot of other stuff. But Solara has a lot more functionality. It's not just like this simple one. There are a lot more functions here. Like I said, this whole website is exactly like what I showed you. It's actually built on the Solara. It's deployed on the cloud. And that's why many of the documentations, if you go to see it, all the example are actually interactive. They even have AI or chatbot or something like that. It's actually pretty fun. Hello. No AI key, so you need to provide the key. But you can have some like visualization, plotly, for example, here. And you see at the top, right? It's actually running. That one is actually doing something. So you can actually draw stuff, right? And nice thing about this is bi-directional. That means whatever you do interact with the plot, all the information is being returned. So that means you know exactly what the user does on your applications. You can also link view, for example. So this is actually running, right? It's not a whole website. So you can zoom in here, and you can actually also change here. It will update the map automatically. So you can think about it's bi-directional. I can change things, update the map. We can update the map, and you can also get information outside from there. So let me see if it works. Still building. I hope it works. The first time it might take some while because it's actually creating the virtual machine, but it's actually pretty powerful. That is allow you to deploy things in the cloud without having to pay anything. And you can also host data. Like if you go to my Hugging Face, I'm gonna quickly show you. I do a lot of tutorial, AI, and other stuff. I host a lot of data set in here. You can host the AI model. You can also put some of your sample data set and compare to GitHub. This one knows how many people actually downloading your stuff. For example, almost 70,000, right? I have some sample data set, and then it's also just a GitHub. So allows you to, if you ever need to share some data with other people, especially if they need to access the data programmatically, this is the best way to host the data. GitHub, GeoJSON, raster data, vector data, you name it. And you can also host some AI models, so people can actually use your AI directly without having to do a lot of competitive stuff. And so let me one last time see if it works. GeoDV. It says starting, so that's a good sign. And once you can see the map, that means mission accomplished, and we'll be done for the semester. So I hope that for your final project, if you can, try to make it accessible, so when other people go to your URL, they can actually see your stuff. rather than you have to open Google Colab and then you have to install all the stuff by themselves. And we are over time now, so you're free to go. If you want to see it, you can wait for another minute. I hope it comes up. Okay, so that's all for this lecture. I hope you learned something new from this class, and I look forward to seeing your presentation next week. All right. No more than 10 minutes. You can make it longer for a video, for a recorded video, but we have 12 students, so Monday, Wednesday. So it's Monday will be maybe 6, and then Wednesday another 6. If you have more than 10 minutes, you're welcome to stop by my office to show me. And other than that, that's all for today, and I will see you next week.